Oh, this is my own creation. You may have heard of them. Don't know. It's a thing that I built from my mind. Just sometimes I can do that. Just pick up some Lego pieces and it kind of just makes a build. It's not a big deal or nothing. It's a graveyard. It's a thing that I started a while back on a live stream. Idea I've been floating around in my mind for a while now. It's a pretty simple build, so I guess we'll go over it all. I mean, why wouldn't we? You guys want to talk about it? I'm sure because I think it's a fun kind of I don't know, delve into the process of building my own creation, building your own little build. You can see these bright colors that I didn't even hide them, didn't hide them at all. Just kept them in there. You know, there's all kinds of bright things, and there's some peg holes that we can connect it to other areas with, and I think that's a kind of a fun little idea. The front does have the cladding there, just some minifigure bases, something simple, something kind of nice, protective. I got right now. This is the second that connects, the third in the kind of series. We did the campfire, and then we did the river crossing. And I know you guys are wondering, let's see it next to the river crossing. So okay, we can do that. We can put it up here and connect them together. I think it looks real nice. It connects right easy. Now the difference being is that this being the second one in the series of the connectable ones, I did put the cladding on there. So yeah, that's... I think I need to go back and do it on this one, but we'll get there someday. I got two others that are in the way. I got a couple houses as we walk into this town, kind of on our journey. We're gonna have some houses here, and I think that'll be nice. I'm thinking 3 or 4 houses, just a little very small town, and it's kind of castle-y themed. So we've got like a knight's grave here. We got a tea grave. So I need a good name for someone that starts with T. We got this little, I like that one with the cross hole and the kind of little light coming through. And then just a nice simple grave. And so made sure to include lots of foliage, little pieces of plants to make it look a little more alive. We also got a little bit of rocks going along the road. Rocks get kicked up. It happens. And you can see a couple different colors here that I used, some darker and lighter green to kind of just give a little variation, because grass, it's pretty uniform in color, I suppose, but maybe throw a little bit of extra color in there. I think it's pretty good. Now, I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I could literally just put this up on platforms. I could put a 16 by 16 base that I used as the second to last level, like brick 16 base. The downside is that I do have to do some shenanigans to make sure these are one plate up so it connects with everything else. But I was like, yeah, whatever. I can skip using all this filler brick. I don't have to make it so thick. But I was like, you know what? That's boring. Let's make it thick. And you may have noticed when I spun it around the first time, there is something going on here. That's like, you're looking at it and you're like, there's some snot there. What's up? Well, if we use something that can just grab some studs, look at that. We got a couple of graves with little people in them. Now, I think this man here, this one's got a very fancy set of dark clothes on. I think that's pretty fun. But I thought as a little Easter eggs, I'm never going to use the I Love Legoland in my castle towns or anything. So I was like, hey, let's use him. And I used some of the beat up faces. Maybe I should have used those for people that are older or something, but I don't think I'm going to use those for living town folk. They're pretty chewed up and stuff. But, nice used collection pieces. Let's put them to use. Let's fill in the grave. If you peek in there, there's just some small walls separating it. It's not how a real grave would be, but I think it's fun. And it just goes right in. It's nice and easy to just line it up and push it in, and bam, they're in their graves. I think that's a fun little, almost a play feature, just a little Easter egg, I'd say. I mean, if you made it this far in the video, you know. If you didn't make it this far, you could be like, well, did you see that graveyard that PLC made? And your friend's like, yeah, I saw it, whatever. You'd be like, how about that T grave? And you're like, what? Yeah, okay, it's a T. But then you say, but yeah, I named him. So do leave a comment with a name for that boy. It's the, damn, it's not going to pop out. I thought it might. The T grave is the fancy man, in case you're wondering. So fancy man goes in. So do give me that, and also give me one for the I Love Legoland man. Give me a name for him. Let's get some name suggestions. If I don't like them, I'm not going to use yours. I'm sorry, but maybe you get a good one. Could happen. So that's all I want to really talk about with the mock. But you may have noticed in that title I mentioned plants or something. Kapow. It's a very similar build to the one I used in the thing. So what's it doing here? Well, that's a good question. Damn. Oops. That plant probably not going back down in the same spot. But if you look at these, let's try and get them focused here in the camera. Can you tell the difference? This one and this one. Yeah, that's right. This one uses the bar piece to connect it. It uses the same type of I mean, these are pretty new type of flowers. They're the 1x1 stud that's round, but it's got the little petals. And I really like putting them upside down. It kind of makes a big ploofy flower with a little I want to say stigma, but I'm not a plantologist, so I don't know the pieces names of a plant. But the difference is, and I found this really interesting when I was looking through my collection, because I put this one in this spot and I was like, it just doesn't look right. Something's weird. You can kind of see it. The one with the bar hole, the stalks, the pieces that hold up the flowers are wider out, and I thought that was really interesting because like these stack up just fine. The older style, you can stack them up and they look fine and they don't like hit too much. But I think these ones are meant for stacking even more so because they've got the holes so you can stack more of the ones with the bars. Just keep going up. But these flowers, there's some bigger ones now. They're not all the little flat petals as they used to be. So maybe they thought you could just use a little more because. If you look straight down there, it's a little cramped towards that stud. That stud's getting kind of cramped, but this one, all kinds of access to that little bar hole. So I think that's an interesting little topic to discuss, is that like this one could be a plant in your town or city or universe, and this one could also be, but maybe it's a different plant because it doesn't grow quite the same. It's just it's a little bit more droopy. Maybe it's the same plant but droopy. I don't know. Just thought it was an interesting point to talk about. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, I do have a couple more mocks on the way in the pipeline. So if you're interested, subscribe. Let me know. Do comment some names for those people. I think that'll be an interesting thing to hear your guys' suggestion. And of course, we're going to probably have a suggested video and an automatic video and stuff. Subscribe buttons all here. It's pretty standard stuff. You guys know how this goes. Thanks for watching, guys.